You hear that? That's the fan. We're in a heat advisory, so I offer no apologies. It's hot in the Midwest. Perhaps that's why today's topic I feel is appropriate. Did you, as a child, ever play this game?
Crossfire! 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 Yeah!
Me neither. Although it did tick me off because, as a brunette, whenever I saw... Would I use the term brunette? Or am I like a brune?
It's sometime in the future. The ultimate challenge. Crossfire!
See, females and males are both blondes. Oh, no, but I think blonde has an E at the end if it's referring to a female. You hear that? That's the truck that likes to pass by every day. They usually get edited out, but we're keeping it in today because today we're caught up in the...
Crossfire!
So, thank you to Avalon Hill and Hasbro for sending me Crossfire. This is Crossfire. This is the 2026 edition. Look at it. It's very small. It's very... Why is it so small? Well, we're about to find out. But nobody wants to hear that. It does take up the entire box. I will give you that. Now, this could not be simpler. And because I am a channel renowned, known worldwide, not subscribed to, obviously, but known worldwide for my sensibilities in comparing the contemporary against the classic, have I got a treat for you. I found this gem. Crossfire! I'm giving you about 5 seconds to spot the issue, though. When I saw it, I didn't consider that there would be more than one edition of Crossfire, more than one release, and I just looked at the back of the box and I see that it's from 2016. So it's not the classic Crossfire that we may have known and loved. Not me, maybe you. What was I saying earlier? The blonde kid in the commercial. It's always the blonde kid. They always win. The brown-haired kid gets blasted into oblivion. There he goes. Goodbye. And so I learned to hate the blondes from an early age. I'm not sure if this is imposing upon you how big this box is. This is the new edition of Crossfire. This was the 2016. What could have changed in 10 short years? Did the older version of Crossfire have a box that would have taken up this much of my frame? We have our manual, which is really more just a one-page pamphlet. Crossfire itself is exceedingly easy. You just gotta read the instructions. There's a handy compartment here for marbles. They're metal marbles, so they're ball bearings. In addition to these 18 marbles, you will also get 2 funky little plastic targets with ball bearings in the center. They're encased within this bevel, so the ball will actually spin freely, allowing this piece to kind of roll across the board. My house is not level. When I place the marble down on my table, it just rolls one direction. So cool. Next up, we've got these clips on the side. Very important to know that before you start trying to struggle to force this thing open. Don't be like me. The case, it opens! And we have guns. We're going to compare every single element to the game from 10 years ago. I have a feeling that the 10-year-old game is using an older version of all the components, so we'll maybe get into that. Okay, it's red versus purple. These guys just snap right into their respective holes. Just like so. Done. That's it. Setup is complete. You've got score trackers here on the side. Set them to 0. And what I would do is split the metal marbles up. Then you place the 2 plastic pieces and you put them on the center track. And then the object of the game is to simply blast the plastic targets into your opponent's scoring area. That's this area right here around the guns. As you can see, you can blast stuff into these. There's no turn taking. Each player works simultaneously. So your game play, more or less, it's gonna look just like this. Oh look, I've got a score, although it hardly counts. Getting these metal balls into your opponent's bay does nothing. It just allows them the ability to pick them up and place them into their gun. So it's infinite reloading and playing and shooting until somebody gets both of these targets into their opponent's bay. Now, like, if this sort of thing happens, then it's sudden death, and you've got to take a target, place it in the middle, and just start blasting until it lands into one of the bays. Whoever scores raises their score counter up by 1, and whoever gets to 5 points first wins. At least that's how I interpreted the very simple rules. Pros, this is a lightning fast game. I mean, in almost every sense of the word. It's easy to set up, it's easy to play, easy to learn. Play is over in no time. It's time to play again. It's easy to put up and stow away. I just blasted that ball right over the... Hold on. It's not an HeroQuest video until I launch something off the table. But I hear you. The question that's on all of your minds. Will it HeroQuest? The forces of Zargon are encroaching, heroes. This is not going to go well at all. Okay, how do we want to do this? Let's just try firing first. Okay, they do like knock over. They do actually fall over when they are blasted. At the very least, they get shot back. Now the survivor can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because it's a goblin. Oh no, he's almost made it to the base. What do? You blast him back. Oh, he fell over. Okay, we're going to call that a death. What if the falling over is just them losing their turns, and these guys come into play, and you have to get these guys into your opponent's bay, into Zargon's bay? You know what? This kind of makes sense accidentally. Heroic red versus Zargonic purple. That's a thing now. Guess you could have your heroes encroaching onto the board to cross over and get to Zargon's side as well, but that's going to be so chaotic. How would you even do that? I don't know, let's play and find out. Add in the rapidly scooping up of the marbles and putting them into your gun's chamber so that you can continue firing. Okay, I think I've lost enough brain cells. Let's move on and look at the old one. The old one, the 10 years old one. I gotta hand it to Hasbro in 2016. They really did make that box look quite vintage. And it's huge, which is another holdover from the vintage era. A quick count confirms that we have all of our marbles. We haven't lost these marbles. There you go. You can't go wrong with putting things up because of the nice cutout on the side of the guns. And bam, we're done. Away you go. Put the weirdest filter over these kids. They didn't have to. They could have just used the real sort of pit. This has got a weird filter too. Will you please calm it with the airbrush? All right, this is why you're really here. Is this board... Is this the same as the classic one? It looks like it's just the same thing. It has that really classy feel and look to it. I don't know, and to be honest, I actually don't even know if this is complete in its box. I know it's got circle tape. If I open this and this is brand new, I'm going to be shocked. Yes, I'm using a ballpoint pen to cut open the tape. You can judge me, it's fine. I'm a YouTuber and I work in IT. I'm used to being judged. Oh my God, that's a lot. That's a lot of game. What is happening here? This is enormous. All right, so this is just as simple. We still have just the one page booklet, basically one continuous page. To put this up, you just put everything together and then the fold and slide into box. Okay, we have our bag of marbles. There's more than 18 in there. That's pretty cool. We also have, what are these? What are you? Plastic pieces for some reason. Okay, so the frame is this awesome, lovely, sturdy, immortal, invincible polystyrene. Do we have a copyright date on this sucker? Sometimes you see copyrights on molds. Yeah, it's 2016 Hasbro. It's really hard for me to believe that they would actually make something this sturdy and huge in 2016. That's awesome. All right, so we have our things that go together like this. Then we have these things, which are gonna make them sort of lock together in place. Then we have our Crossfire board. Met with some resistance, so I may have done that a little bit out of order. These guys, looks like you can take them and tilt them out a little bit, so you have a little bit more guard. That's kind of cool. They even go out another tier, so you can do that. That's really cool. There's little aimers on these. You can more precisely you get the illusion that you have more control. Okay, we really don't have to place these. Just put it on the logo. And by the way, these are really quite different from their contemporary counterparts. They're much bigger, taller. The marbles, yeah, I just put the new one away, and I don't want to do a one-to-one. These are the same size marbles, I'm sure of it. The wells in front of each player are much deeper, much easier to scoop things out of. All right, and then that's satisfying. That is satisfying. Couple of issues I have with this is prolonged play is really going to get you right about here. I played a round of the new Crossfire with Char, and she immediately, after like 2 games, she was feeling it in her hand. So that's an issue. This might be a little bit different though, because instead of really tiny guns, you have much longer ones. They feel more ergonomic to my larger hands. This is a louder game, so they somehow made the game quieter, but that's Crossfire. Yep. That's the game that you'll get caught up in the of. That's about all I have. Oh, probably worth noting that the new Crossfire board has a pattern of hexes in it, while the old one's got squares. So I guess the old one would HeroQuest better, and the new one would Warhammer Underworlds better. I'm not going to put my Underworlds minis on there and blast them with metal marbles. They're a lot more fragile and brittle. But I think that's going to be about it from me for Crossfire. I am going to play this a few times with my kiddo. Let him live the past that I never had. Compare the older editions of the guns with Char. If you liked this for whatever reason, let me know. I'm curious as to your mental state. And I was contractually obligated to do that one. Not by Hasbro.
Sometime in the future, the ultimate challenge. Crossfire. Crossfire.